Go. Hey, everybody who is watching this after the fact. January 15th. This is Team Be the Change, Team Call. So based on the poll that you guys filled out, the topic that we all seem to need the most guidance with is connecting with people and tracking. So I'm actually really excited that you guys picked on this one because a couple of months ago, Keith Callahan did a really great live video on his business page, which, by the way, if you guys don't follow him, he's very inspiring. He's done a ton of really helpful live videos. His like page is Keith Callahan Network Marketing Professional. And every so often, I think he goes live once a week now with like network marketing tips and tricks and things like that. For a while, he was doing it every day. So there's like a whole series of videos that 5 days a week, that he put together. So this is kind of a cliff notes of one of the ones that he did that really helped me that I probably need to get back to. I mean, I feel like I talk about all these things and I'm like, I should probably be doing that myself. Or that worked really well when I did it. I need to get back to that. So really, this is about like organizing your master list and figuring out who you're going to talk to, breaking your groups of people down into categories so that you can like have a better sense of like the types of people in your current friends group, and then when you add people in, and you're continuing to add every day, making sure that you're categorizing those people as you go. So I guess first, there's kind of an aside. One really great way to organize your contacts and your lists is something that Amy Brown did she's the one who kind of pioneered this. She's in Melissa's team page. If you go back into the old Team Destination U, the one that's closed now, and you search for Amy Brown, and I think she calls it just alphabetizing your friends list. She does a short little video on how to get them all alphabetized, and so you can put them in a Word document, even print them out if you want to, and it has everybody like with their pictures so you can see their profile picture. So that's a really great way to organize if you think that way. So getting into some of the things that Keith talked about in his video, and again, this was like from sometime mid-September. If you want to go back and watch it, if you'd like to do that, please go and do that. And again, this is on his Keith Callahan Network Marketing Professional like page. So what you want to do is you want to put everybody into a list. So whether you do it just alphabetically, the way that Amy does it, or if you want to do it some other way, another thing that you can actually do, and I think there's also a video in the old Team Destination U page, but if not, let me know, because there's a way that you can import all of your contacts. Like you can actually download an Excel file from Facebook. It's basically like a backup of your entire Facebook history, and it has all of your friends. It has all of the people who you have unfriended, who have unfriended you. I mean, like a very comprehensive list. It also will download all of your photos. So I know there was a little bit of a scare a little while ago about people getting their Facebook pages shut down. So, for doing salesy things. So if that's ever a concern for you and you feel like you want to back up what you have on Facebook because you have old photos, go and download it. It's in the settings, and basically you just like download a copy of your Facebook account, all of the information that you've previously uploaded. It's not your posts, but at least it's your photos and your contacts and things like that. So regardless, get yourself a list of all of your contacts, and then that also includes downloading the list if you go into your back office and downloading your list of your customers. So if you've hit Success Club and you've had free leads, you'll have a list of those people. So this list is very comprehensive. It includes everybody from everywhere. And then you should have something that is like your 10 in play list. And so what this is like the 10 people who you have that you're talking to about Shakeology or a challenge pack or a program. And this is a list that should be people who are really interested, and your goal is to get people on the list and then get them, talk to them, figure out what they need, get them signed up, move them off your list so that you open up a space you can move the next person on. So you're going to have two lists. You're going to have your master list. You're going to have your 10 in playlist. Your 10 in playlist is hopefully always going to be changing and rotating. But it also gives you a visual of who the people are that you're talking to, and who the people are that you need to be checking in with maybe more periodically because they've expressed a very intense interest, or maybe you sent them a couple of samples and they really liked it. So they are the people that you want to keep forefront in your mind. And so then with the rest of your master list, you're going to break it down into 3 categories. It's going to be, you're going to label either A, B, C, or 1, 2, 3, whatever works for you. And you're going to write either A, B, or C next to each name. So A is going to be somebody that you would absolutely love to work with. These like people who are your tribe, people who you go to their Facebook page because you think that what they talk about is awesome. You get really excited when you see them comment on your photos or whatever it is. It's like the people that you have like little micro crushes on, who you want to work with, who you want to be on your team, who you want to interact with every day. That's going to be your A's. Your B's are going to be people that maybe you can't see ever doing the business. These are people who, this could be like, I don't know, your grandma, people who just, there's no way that you would ever see them doing business. But with this being said, don't prejudge people, but if you really have a good sense, like my dad would never do this. My dad falls in that category. So that's going to be your B list. And then your C list is going to be people that you look up to, and people, actually people who would also fall into this category, people who you don't connect with, like people who you just like if you guys have been doing the ABC group and there are people that you just keep skipping because, and hopefully you guys kind of get this from Melissa's introduction. It's the people on your ABC list, like you don't have to comment on every single person's page. You don't have to go into all of your A's because you may not connect with all of your A's. They may be friends from a lifetime ago and you just don't, they post political stuff and they, whatever happens to push your buttons, or all they post is like replayed, shared videos of things that you're like, what in the world is that? Like, don't worry about them. They would also be on your B list as somebody who's, not your tribe. You could never see them being on your team. This is about you and your team. Maybe they would be great as a coach elsewhere, but this is about you and your business. So then category C is going to be people that you look up to, who scare you, who you would be afraid to talk to, but also who would be really awesome to have on your team. But people who scare you. Like I have somebody she's our realtor who we bought our house from, and she's like really into CrossFit and she's like super fun, but she's like a ridiculously successful realtor. She makes incredibly good money. She has her own like community. I don't know. She's somebody that I would be like, I don't know. So she's the kind of person for me who falls into that category. So, that's how you're going to break down your list. Then once you have your A's, B's, and C's, you're going to make an initial contact with people. So you're just going to start going down your list. It doesn't matter what category you start in. It doesn't matter if you start from, all the A's and then move on to the B's and then move on to the C's. It doesn't matter if you do one of each. Whatever works for you, the goal is to get through everybody. And you're going to make the initial contact. And so Keith has like a hierarchy of how he likes to interact with people. Number 1 is face-to-face, which I think, when you're face-to-face with somebody, like you can obviously get a much better feel for who they are. You get to know them a little bit better. Your mannerisms come across. things like that, you know, your passion, your excitement, those things are all best they come across best face to face. Number 2 is on the phone. And again, for the same reasons, you can really hear somebody. Number 3 is texting somebody. Number 4 is interacting with them on social media. And for Keith, number 5 is email. And I would rearrange this a little bit. I would put email above text. So I would say face-to-face, phone. Well, that's not true. So that's Keith's list. I'm going to give you my hierarchy just because I feel like email has a really good place. I feel like you can kind of express yourself a little bit better maybe than some of the other ways. So mine would be face-to-face, and then phone, and then social media, because people can get a feel for who you are. If you're going live, if you're posting, if you're sharing your life and your story, and then you reach out to them on, you know, Messenger, after you see them connecting and commenting or liking or whatever on your page, you know that they have a sense of who you are. And you know that, you know, they've, you know, seen your live videos, and they've seen your posts, and they've, you know, read your why and your stories, and, you know, who you are, and they know a little bit about you. So I'd put that as number 3. Number 4, I would put is email. And the reason I put that is because I've started doing email, like a little bit of like email marketing, and sending out a weekly newsletter. And I feel like it's another way to get to know people and to share value with people. But I guess for interacting, I could see why he put that towards the bottom. So then my last one would be text messaging. I feel like text messaging is like kind of cold, but that's just my opinion. You know, you may have your own hierarchy. So then, with everybody from your master list, you're going to reconnect with them somehow, some way. It doesn't matter if, you know, what media you use, but you're just going to start reconnecting with them. And basically, it's just going to be like, hey, what have you been up to? How are you? You know, the goal is not to jump in and start talking about fitness, or start talking about health, or start talking about Beachbody, or start talking about Shakeology. You want to reconnect with them. You want to say, hey, what is up? It's been forever since I've talked to you. How have you been? I've loved, you know, seeing your pictures of your dog, or your family, or your vacations, or your job, or, you know, whatever it happens to be. You know, before you talk to them, go to their page and see what they're up to, because you don't want to be like, hey, how are you? What's up? I hope you're doing well. And their grandmother just died like 3 hours ago, and they posted on social media. Like, you want to be relevant, and you want to come across as, you know, being, you know, caring, which we do. I mean, we do care about the people on our list, and especially if they're people we want to talk to and get to know. It's, you know, we don't want to come across as assholes, frankly. So then, you know, get to know them, reconnect with them. And then for the people who, so then the next part is, once you do come to the time in the conversation when you're able to transition into what would be an invite, there's 3 different approaches to take based on how you've categorized that person. So for the one, you know, so A would be the person that you'd absolutely love to work with. That would be your invite to a, you know, coaching opportunity group, which, by the way, there's one Tuesday night tomorrow, if you're watching on Monday, that I'll post the link. I'm going to write this down because I didn't do this last time. Where's my pen? This is not even my planner. What am I doing? Bear with me, everybody. My desk is a complete and total nightmare. Okay. Post business op link in page. Okay. So that would be like your business invite. Like, I would love to have you check out this business opportunity, or that sounds like, I would love to have you join. My brain. Invite them. I'm come up with. If you guys need help, let me know, because at the current moment, my brain isn't doing what it should be doing. Invite them to the business opportunity call tomorrow night. Invite them, offer to just share some information with them. Whatever feels right for the conversation and the situation. Talk to them about, this time of year when there's people, everybody wants, everybody has New Year's resolutions. Everybody has health and fitness. This is the time of year when people are thinking about it. And this is when people are able to, get into this business and have success, because this is the time of year that people are interested in it. They're like, oh my gosh, the holidays are over. Oh my gosh, like I gained 15 pounds and whatever it happens to be. So that's going to be your people who you would love to work with, your A people. Your B people, you're going to come at a different approach. And these are the people that you don't ever necessarily want to have on your own team, but you could use them as kind of a reference. These are people who are friends with you on Facebook, and they've probably seen you posting something. And so what you can say to them is, maybe someone who this opportunity might be for. Maybe it comes up and you say, yeah, I'm a health and fitness coach. I love what I do. I work out. I work from home, and I help people. And they'd be like, oh, that's cool. You'd be like, yeah, do you know anybody who who might be interested? I'm looking to, mentor people, and I'd appreciate a referral if you would be willing to do that for me. The end. That's all you have to do with those people. Because they're not your tribe. They're not people that you really want to have on your team. And then category C is people who you look up to, who you're afraid to talk to. And for this is a tactic. So if you've listened to, what's the name of it? There's a audiobook by, it's a regular book too. I have it on Audible. It's by Eric Worre, Worre, and it's called Network Marketing something about network marketing. GoPro, 7 steps to becoming a network marketing professional. And again, that's Eric Worre, Worre. Oops, where'd it go? Yeah. And so he has some good information. If you have an opportunity to listen to that, it's pretty short. It's like maybe an hour or two at most. And it's interesting to listen to, because it's a lot of the tactics that he uses are kind of like the stereotypical network marketing, but the way that he explains why they work makes it make sense. So some of the things he says, like if somebody said that to me, I'd feel a little bit slimed out, but if you can always take and add your own twist to whatever it is. So this is something that is along the lines of what, typically what people have success with in network marketing when they're trying to like recruit people. And so again, this feels a little bit slimy to me, but the concept behind it makes sense. And so for the people who you look up to, who you are afraid to talk to and freak you out, but you would really want to work with them anyway, you would say something like, hey, I know this isn't for you, but do you know anyone who this might be good for? And then it's almost like reverse psychology, where they're like, well, why wouldn't it be for me? Maybe I would like to make an extra $500 a month. Like, so that's a tactic that you can try to just at least get a conversation started with people. And I even hate to use the word tactic. That seems really slimy to me too. But you guys get the point. Like, this is, we all know that what we're doing is not trying to like slime people in and bombard them and, be sleazy. But there is some tactics that do work. in network marketing. And again, like the key behind all of this is you have to believe in what you're saying. If you go into this afraid that somebody's going to tell you no, they will pick up on that like a wolf sniffing out a sheep. People are very smart. You have to believe in you. You have to believe in what we're doing. You have to believe in yourself, and you have to believe in our team and that people want to join our team. So before you contact anybody, sit down, meditate, read a book, have a cup of tea, whatever you need to do to get your mind in the right place, and then go out, pray or whatever it is, say affirmations, send love out to the universe, whatever sort of like, anything that works for you to open up your heart and get you to that place where you're so focused on helping people. That's what people are going to feel. They're not going to respond in the way that you want them to respond if you are afraid that they're going to tell you no and you are anticipating that they're going to tell you no, because your excitement isn't going to come across and they're going to be like, why would I want to join you? So that is the precursor to all of this. So then, that's okay. So that's how you're going to reach out to everybody on your master list. And your master list, again, is like every single person that you know. Then, this is kind of a Keith Callahan heavy thing because I got most of this from his thing. But another good resource that he has is he actually has a podcast. It's called the All About Beachbody podcast. And it's actually a really good tool that you can share with people. I don't remember how many episodes it is, but it's like maybe each episode is like maybe 7 or 10 minutes each. There's I think it's like the first episode or maybe like a bonus episode that talks about like what coaching has done for him or something like that. But then each of the episodes is like a little like snippet of how a different part of coaching works. So like, maybe it's income, maybe it's personal development, maybe it's, product of the product, maybe it's challenge groups, all these different things. He talks about them. And then he says, like, get back in touch with the coach who referred you to this podcast. So it's a good tool to be able to use. If you just don't know what to say to people, go listen to that for yourself and then share that with people or share specific episodes with people if you want to. That's a really great resource. There's also, there are third-party tools in the back office, which I don't love. So they are available, but I don't necessarily recommend them. Beachbody's put together like, this is what coaching is, but it feels very campy and very much like an infomercial. So maybe it resonates with some people. Like, again, Keith Callahan uses those, and he's a like bazillionaire, and he's made ungodly amounts of money in this business. And they work for him, but for whatever reason, they don't resonate with me. And if somebody sent me that, I would be like, what is this? So make the decision for yourself. I mean, if it works for you, go ahead and use it. And so if you go into the back office, there's, trying to remember what it's called. I think it's called Grow Your Business. Yeah, there's the orange Grow Your Business box. And that's where all of your third-party tools, so all of your like videos about Shakeology, videos about different workout programs, those are all there. And that's also where you'll find some of the coaching videos. So that is another option. So then once you have conversations going with people, you're going to be needing to follow up. So that's where your 10 in play comes in. Your 10 in play comes in list. 10 in play list comes in. Again, it's only 10 people, and you want to move people on and off quickly. If they tell you no, move them off for now and move somebody else on. If they tell you yes, Get them signed up and move them off. This isn't about holding on to people because they were interested once and they told you no and you still think that they're a viable person at the moment. If they say no, move them off. Bless and release. It's not their time. They'll come around. So when you're following up with people, there's kind of like I guess you could call it, not really a script, but like a different, it's like things that you can hit on that might help you keep the conversation moving. Because I know that a lot of times conversations will stall out. And you'll be like, I don't know what to say because you're not saying anything. So some things that you can say, so like obviously, you've had conversations with them, maybe you've talked a little bit about Shakeology, they've told you what they liked. And so you can follow up on what they like, and you can say something like, when you said, that you like such and such and such, I think that, Shakeology or Beachbody On Demand would help you because, and then tie it back to what they liked. Or you can say, another great way to move it along is, when do you see yourself doing this? I used that the other day and she's like, this month. And I'm like, great. Another good question is, what type of reservations do you have? Whether it's about the business or whether it's about, just Shakeology or a program. You can always, if they tell you no right now, thank them and say, can I follow up with you in a couple of months? Or can I follow up with you when the next accountability group opens up? See how, it gives you a sense of how they're feeling, whether it's no, absolutely not, go away, or if it's in the future, but now is not a good time, but I'm still interested. That gives you a sense of that as well. And then you put that into your, however you're tracking your people. I'm trying to get back into Asana. I don't know what I'm doing with tracking. That's for a whole nother day. But I am making an intense effort. In fact, it's like up behind my Zoom right now. Then for people who you have talked to, there comes a time when you have earned the right to point blank ask them, are you ready? Why or why not? In your own words, obviously, but people will respect you. If they've been talking to you and they've been thinking about it, they're not going to get offended if you ask them that, if they've been dragging their feet. And there's no set time. It's whatever feels comfortable for you. I mean, maybe for somebody it's been, a week or two of going back and forth. Maybe it's somebody who's been going back and forth with for 6 months or a year or, multiple years. There comes a time when you have earned that right to ask them that. And if they get upset, then this isn't for them. And if they respect you and they respect, the opportunity, and they truly believe that what we're doing is amazing, and they believe in, that the products can help them, it's, that might be the thing that helps them commit. So those are some really good follow-up questions if you start to run out of questions. Yeah, so like, you can ask them what's holding you back. Say things like, let's do this together, or reinforce that we're a team and a community. Like, this isn't about us signing somebody up and like, okay, so long, you're on your own. It's signing people up and bringing them into the fold, and, getting them on team calls, getting them in trainings, and you yourself, you don't have to train them yourself. You don't have to be the one who does everything with this person. That's the beauty of this team and all of the team resources and Beachbody resources that we have, is you bring them in and then you introduce them to all of the tools that we have available to us, and you answer their questions. So there's no reason that you should be nervous about bringing people in. I know that feeling because I was super nervous. The first person that wanted to be a coach I was like, how am I going to coach anybody? I've never coached anybody. There's no way that I'm going to know how to coach somebody. But the really important thing to remember is the only thing that you need to know how to do as a coach is to have been at one point where they are. And you all have, because you have all decided to do this. You all have been at that kind of crossroads of, do I want to be a coach? Do I not want to be a coach? That's the only experience that you need to have. And each of you have that. And so all you have to do is share your experience. And as soon as, somebody decides that they want to join your team, then, come to me, come to Christy, come to Melissa, whoever somebody, one of the coaches, and say, where do I put this person? And we will all help you. We will all make sure that, you and your new coach are going through the training. So people, I think that people relate a lot better to people who are closer to where they are in life. There's a girl who I've been talking to, and Keith Callahan is her upline. Like, he signed her up, but he's so almost unavailable that she's having a really hard time. And I think we have a really great advantage because we are newer. We've recently been where these people are. We don't have this super high level view of what's going on. We're not, I don't even know what these top coaches do, but we don't do that. I mean, we are doing day to day what new coaches do. And so that makes it really appealing to people to know that, what we are going through is what they will be going through. What they are about to start, we have recently done. The only thing that we have to do, the only thing that we have to do as leaders is to have been where they are. That doesn't make sense. Let me rephrase this. What I'm trying to say is what makes somebody a good leader in the situation is to be just a couple of steps ahead of somebody else. It doesn't matter how far ahead of them you are, just to have been there once. So even if you signed up last week and decided, or, you committed last week and you said, I want to be a coach, I want to do this. You've already done day one of some of the trainings. So that's the only thing that you need to know to get them into day one. And you've watched the video, you know what to talk to them about after they watch the video. That's all you need. It's not scary, I promise. So don't let that hold you back. Don't let the fear of you don't know what's going on, as whatever happens to be, whatever the voices in your head say, don't let that hold you back, because there are so many people here to help you, and you already know everything that you need to know to help somebody on their journey as a coach. So that's that. Let me make sure my note.
Alana, I totally raised my hand and you weren't looking.
I weren't looking. I wasn't looking. I'm sorry.
No, that's a good point. What was I just gonna say? Oh my God, my brain is off right now. Dang it. We were talking about the just being a few steps ahead. It's nice for someone to realize that what they're going through, we're still feeling it. Even you, in relation to me, you've only been a coach about a year longer than me. So you still remember what it feels like to have been brand spanking new.
Yeah.
And these other coaches that have been, doing it for 3 years and are making so much money doing this, do they have a recollection of what it was like to be new? Yes. But they didn't go through being new in this day and age of social media. So their new, it was completely different than the new that we're going through now. And then on top of that, they don't have a solid recollection of exactly what they were feeling when they were 1 month in, 6 months in, a year in. Mm-hmm. So it's a lot easier to relate to somebody that is a lot closer to that because they still have fresh memories of it. They still might still be going through it themselves. I mean, how long have I been a coach now?
When did you sign up?
Several.
July?
Yeah, it was July, and I pretty much just started back over. So,
shh. Hey.
Even though I've been a coach for months, I just started back over now, and it's like starting over from scratch. It's like day one all over again.
Yeah.
So, but that's all I had to add. If you were like struggling for the word that you were looking for, and
no, thank you. I appreciate
just trying to complete the thought.
Yeah, and of course, while you were thinking, I had another thought, and now it left me again. Story of the call. Okay, but yeah, exactly. Like, and the same with your health and fitness journey. Like when you're sharing about your health and fitness journey, like the fact that nobody wants to see a supermodel working out. I mean, like being Autumn is unrelatable. Yes, she looks awesome and we all want to be her, but when you are her, it's not, people have a hard time relating to that, which is why transformation, if you are in good shape, like transformation photos are so important. And truthfully, like this is something I struggle with because it's like I don't have someplace that like a big transformation that I'm looking to get to. Like I'm looking to maintain and like I'm looking to like have abs, but I have the photos from like having being pregnant and being 6 months postpartum, and for me it's less about the way that my body looked and more about the way that my body language was. So regardless of where you are, even if you are in really good shape, just having it's easier for people to relate to somebody who's closer to where they are on their journey. And so if you're in a position where you're like, oh my gosh, like I don't feel like anybody's going to want to follow me or, do what I'm doing because I'm not at my goal weight or I'm not where I feel like I should be, that's fine. Like people want to see you working towards a goal and they want to see the progress that you're having. So,
No, if I could just add on top of that, one of the best things I did when I first came in was I wrote down what it was that attracted me to it in the first place. Because sometimes if you're thinking too hard about, I'm a coach and I follow these other 10 coaches and they're all talking about weight loss or they're all talking about, meal prepping or whatever. Like I've never meal prepped in my life. It doesn't like fit with what I do. So I don't relate to it. Sorry if you hear the banshee screaming in the background. I don't relate to it, but when I went down and actually wrote down what it was that drew me to it, it was watching you being a mom and having something that was good for you but was easy on the go. And the way I could literally see the progressive like change in like your happiness level as like things were going on. And Alana will tell you, I was like probably the dream customer because we never talked. We didn't talk about it. I just was like, what's up with this shake stuff? And she's like, this, and this. And I'm like, how much can I get it if I'm a coach? I'm like, but that's not the normal situation. But I went and wrote down because I was that silent onlooker. I was that person that just kind of like watches from the sideline. So I wrote down everything that attracted me in the beginning. And then that's what I talk about now, because for me, it is weight loss, but it's also how good did I feel that first day that I drank Shakeology. I had so much energy. It was insane. And I work nights as a nurse, working 12-hour shifts. I need the energy. So when I had that was like, it was like finding a bar of gold in my freaking drawer, in my sock drawer. I was so damn excited about it. So, that's a really good way to focus if you're not somebody that's working on weight loss, which is where a bulk of these people are. Focus on what brought you into it and what interested you in Beachbody, and then there will be other people on the planet, I promise you, that are interested in the same thing.
Can you also, because I know you'd said that you'd been watching another coach, and this isn't like to toot my own horn, but like this is like to speak to the power of like you finding your tribe and the people who, yes. um, my husband is texting me from 30 feet away.
That's so funny.
This is about like you connecting with the people that, and having people connect with you versus, just like being somebody who, is like a successful coach. So can you just speak to that a little bit?
Are you talking about the coach that I was friends with prior to joining?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So there's a coach that's he's pretty big in the Beachbody world, actually. And I don't feel like it was and I mean, I'll tell you who it is. His name's Caleb. I think his last name's Thomas. I don't feel like it was ignored me being on his friends list situation. He's got so many people following him that I think it was just like a fall through the cracks kind of situation, because he's one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. If you get a chance to meet him at like a summit or anything like that, he's amazing. But he never reached out to me, and what he was talking about was not anything that I would have related to being a single mom at the time. Single mom, chasing my kid around in school, in work. That was nothing. His was like a rags to riches kind of a situation. Desperate, didn't have a lot of money, needed to dig himself out of a hole and achieve that. I'm starting this business as a nurse that makes good money, and I'm just not happy with what I'm doing. So it didn't resonate with me at all, even though that's an amazing story. Like, who wouldn't want to be, down on their luck and then find this thing that you're amazing at and then now be really, really, really good at it and make a lot of money? Who wouldn't love that? But that just doesn't fit with my life. I don't feel like I'm down in the dumps and desperate. That's not really the case at all. And I feel like if he would have reached out to me, I probably would have been turned off to the whole scenario. Maybe I would probably have come on as a customer. I've done Beachbody workouts before, but it would have never been a coaching situation. I would have never in a million years considered it. But having somebody, watching Alana, watching Christy, watching people that are literally in my position. We just had kids all at the same time, and we're all busy working moms, trying to balance health and fitness, happiness, work life, mom life, toddler. I got twins, the twinados. Trying to balance all of that stuff while still trying to figure out how to feed. My kids will only eat nuggets. Literally nuggets and ham. Like, that's all they will eat. So how do you balance life where I'm trying to eat healthy, but all they want is ham steaks that I don't eat? It's a struggle, but I've found my tribe. I've found my group of ladies that know what I'm going through, know how to work this business while going through that. A lot of us are working moms still. We haven't reached the point to where we can quit our jobs yet. And then you're not going to relate to a coach that had no job to begin with when they started, and they were able to just dive head first into a job, 10 hours a day. We're not going to relate to that because it's just not feasible. So that it was really, really a testament to the connection that we have as me with my upline coaches. How that connection's formed, because it would not have never in a million years would have happened with the other coach. Just wouldn't have. And nothing against him. It's just we're not the same people.
Right. So that's a really good point too, is like, we're not in competition with anybody, any of the other coaches, like, because no other coach is like us. Nobody else has our story. You connect with your people. You have your friends who know you and trust you, and the people who you form connections with, they see something in you that they want to be friends with. And so you shouldn't feel like, there are other coaches out there doing all these amazing things, and you just keep you might lose customers to them, or you might lose coaches to them. Like, that's not at all the case. That you attract the people into your life that see something in you. And, that's exactly what happens. That's what happened when I signed up, that's what happened when Amber signed up. And so that's what's going to start happening with you guys when you start, you know, getting conversations going and reaching out to people and connecting with people and interacting. And, you really fine tune your posting and you kind of get your brand, you brand yourself. And I think that's actually something that really helped me a lot, was to spend some time doing like some branding about who I am and what I want to put out to the world and the kind of people that I want to attract in. So.
I'm sorry, I'm going to interrupt again.
Yeah.
Speaking on the whole thing about not like looking at other coaches and worrying about who they're attracting. I actually did like a ton of research on other coaches when I first started, and Jatana Jackson is amazing, but she's very bubbly and does a lot of music with her stuff. And I swear to God, the first time I tried to do something similar, not copying what she was doing, but something similar, it was literally like the Beachbody version of a Pinterest fail. It was so bad. So I learned really quick that Amber is Amber, Jatana's Jatana, and you can grab little like bits and pieces, but it really is, good to just be yourself. Take whatever you would normally post on social media and just add a little bit of a Beachbody spin to it every once in a while, and that'll work out for you. So I swear to God, it's not good.
Yeah, oh, I agree. I know. I tried to, not copy, but like, incorporate some things that other coaches were doing and just didn't come across because they aren't me and they're not at the same point in their business that I am. So. All righty. Well, whatever the note was that I wrote down in my planner, I will yes, the business opportunity link in the team page that you guys can invite people to. Again, it's tomorrow night is live, but you can also add people in after the fact and they can just go through and watch the videos. So that is that. If you have any questions, comment in the page, comment on the post, comment on the link. I'll get this up as soon as possible. And yeah. And we'll talk a lot about this more coming up, because I know that like being a new coach, there's a lot of like, we can revisit these topics again and again and again, and we'll come up with something new. So we'll just keep doing this. I guess that's it. Anything else? Okay. Well, have a great evening and talk to you guys soon.